Hi, everyone, and welcome to the first edition of this new series, Messages from the Akashic Realm Weekly. I'm Annie, and I've been a professional tarot reader for over 30 years now, and it's been my only work for all that time and is my calling, really. All along, I've felt connected to the Akash. And when I studied the Akashic Records formally, I realised, that's what I've been tapping into all this time. These days, I journey there with purpose, both for myself and now for all of us. The messages coming through have been too powerful not to share. They're coming through as objects, symbols, archetypes, and mythic stories. My dream is that this information reaches the right people, the ones it's meant for, the ones who feel the same inner calling to co-create a higher dimensional earth of peace, freedom, joy, abundance, and connection with each other and the natural world. So here we go. Last month, I journeyed into the Akash and I was given a paper nautilus shell. Later, I found out that they're also called Argonauts. In that moment, I knew the message was for those of us who know we're spiritual beings on a spiritual path. We are the Argonauts. We're here to reclaim our personal power and freedom from those who have tried to take it from us. You may be familiar with the story of Jason and the Argonauts, but in short, Jason was the rightful heir to a throne, which had been stolen by his uncle, and to reclaim it, he had to retrieve the Golden Fleece, a quest he couldn't do alone. He gathered a crew, the Argonauts, and set sail on the ship, the Argo, and they overcame some supposedly impossible challenges to retrieve the Golden Fleece, the key to his sovereignty. The points for us today in this story are the journey, the courage, and the quest for rightful power. It's the classic hero's quest, much like the tarot itself. I almost called this series the Argonauts, but I figured that not everyone would get the connection straight away, and I also thought it might be a bit corny, but anyway. Still, I'm calling out to all Argonauts, the courageous spiritual heroes of today. And we're all Jason as well. Just as in Apollonius's time, women were seen as wise leaders, and that feminine energy and leadership is alive now in our spiritual work today. So a little while after this journey, I also this was in August, went back to the Akash and I was given a crown. This time, the landscape was so clearly Australian. It was like saltbush, white sand, the ocean. And at first, the sky was grey and overcast, and the setting sun was watery and dull. But when I placed the crown on my head, the sky cleared to brilliant blue, the sun rose higher and shone, and the land came alive with growth again. I knew that this message is for Australia, for us to reclaim our power, our freedom, our crowns. And the reading I recorded on the 1st of September is linked below, along with a meditation for unity, freedom, and peace. And these are relevant to this journey into the Akash. That reading on the 1st of September honestly surprised me. It was so positive and so full of hope. The Akash is telling us to hold that vision of a more beautiful future for Australia and the Earth. So what does all this mean for this week, for us right now? I think you probably know, but it means we need to continue keeping the vision of freedom and peace and not sink into fear. And of course, we need to be aware of the false narrative that is told to us by those in power. As we co-create our reality with our thoughts and emotions, it's more important than ever, not to let the vision be chosen for us. So it's best to avoid watching the news or reading newspapers or getting confused by all of the information that's down the rabbit hole. I know a lot of you are doing this already. And we need to choose truth. What truly resonates within you? If it's fear-based, it's not your path. So recognize your place on the Argo. We're all in this together. And if this feels right for you, if it inspires you, you're one of the Argonauts. Welcome aboard. So thank you for journeying with me this week. Let's keep sailing towards that beautiful new earth. So if you'd like to go deeper, the links are in the description box, to the meditation, to the reading from the 1st of September. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss these weekly messages. And now, stay tuned for the All Signs Tarot reading for the week. So this is the general reading for this week, and the energy around it is actually very beautiful. It's the Ace of Cups, which is unconditional love. And so we're all being asked to connect to unconditional love, to raise our vibration. And this is about unity, not division. And it's about peace and joy and bliss and all the good things in life. We can see here, this is Europe, and things happening there that might be a little bit difficult, but you can see here that there is some clear outcomes that are extremely positive. This is a change to do with listening to wisdom within, and it's about moving away from the old ways, connecting more and more, probably talking about the collective, connecting more and more with their higher selves and what they're here for. And this is about an organisation of some sort, a large organisation. It could denote government, but it would be government in a different way. It would be governing for the people, governing for the people who they serve and also the people who work there. It's a change. There does seem to be someone coming up here who is part of this transition, who is a very grounded and steady person, very intelligent, and a very good communicator, and has a lot of friends actually. So this is extremely positive. So we are actually moving beyond what has been a bit of a dark night of the soul moment and moving in big incremental jumps upwards. And this is leaving turmoil for peace. Leaving turmoil for peace and huge new beginnings. This is in the line of thought, and it's asking people to move in that direction and make those choices to do with positivity. We have here the internet also, and sometimes the information that we get is overwhelming and can cause doubt, or people are not sure what's going on. That's why I'm always encouraging people to listen to themselves, to focus on what feels right for them. So these new beginnings, this is speed, things happening with speed. Yes, there are old structures being pulled down, and we're in that process probably at the moment, but we have these new beginnings that are totally positive, not negative at all. And it is to do with judgment, to do with people's truth, their truth and honesty and integrity to themselves. And this is, both of these cards are about speed, so things happening very, very quickly. Again, there's someone else here who is coming up as an air sign, who has a very positive goal for the future, or vision for the future. Yes, there are things to be dealt with from the past, but they can be dealt with quite quickly and then moved on with. And yes, there is a need for patience and also a need for vision, for this vision to be brought through, because the Eight of Swords is about not being able to see the potential in a situation. We are being guided and protected. This is the card of the spirit guide. This is to do with people's ancestors and family who are helping and wish the best for us, but also to do with other, ascended masters. And so whoever you are connected with, whether you are religious, you pray to God or Jesus, or you're Buddhist, or Kuan Yin, or whoever, it's about them coming in to help us. And there's a whole pantheon there of different spirit guides. Communication to do with friendship is of immense importance. The karmic wheel of the earth is moving to that chapter where we connect, where we communicate. And this is not communication through any sort of, dissent or difficulty. It's communication between friends, it's communication between family, and it's coming out of this almost nightmare situation where people decide to come together and work for the future. We have the skill and knowledge to do this, and it's really, really wonderful. So again, the future looks bright. I did do a reading a couple of weeks ago that was specifically for Australia. This is for the Earth. And that was really positive too. So I don't think we need to sink into despair. I don't think we have to worry about the future. Yes, we are all, at times alarmed and saddened by what has been occurring, but we're not meant to be fighting with each other, or this difference of opinion. It's about coming together and talking and accepting each other's differences. So now I'm going to look at each element. So I'm going to look at fire signs for the week. Actually, I'll start with earth signs, and then I'll move on to air, water, and fire. So let's see what is coming up specifically for earth signs. So this is Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So again, they're talking about communication very strongly here, and groups of people, and this is your path forward. It's the Ace of Wands is a very positive card because it means that you've upped your anchor and you're sailing off and sailing towards the things that you want. It's leaving behind old sadnesses, old griefs, old relationships that have caused you pain in the past, and having the tools to deal with these into the future. Yes, you may feel that, that again, this is large institutions and organizations, but this is about divine justice. So anything that isn't fitting with divine justice for the future is being moved on from. And they're specifically talking about love of the earth here, love of nature, and connecting to the earth. So it is really important at the moment for us to ground ourselves, and any practices that you have, even just being barefoot on the earth. We're heading into summer here in Australia, but I know you're going into winter in Europe and America, but still, do everything you can to ground yourself, and know this is scattering energy and thinking, oh, what's going to happen? This, what do I want? They're saying you're the expert of your own future. So it's about you choosing what you want to create, choosing a more beautiful, loving world, choosing also what you want to do with your own personal life, and bringing that in, starting that process now. And this is due to these huge changes. Again, they're saying the world is your oyster. What do you want to create? So this is giving you power, letting you know that you create your own reality. And that is the truth. We co-create our reality. So it's about all of us working together to create this change, and realizing that we have that personal connection to our higher self. And this is where we create from from that realm, and groups coming together, more spiritual groups coming together. So Earth signs, you have a golden opportunity here that's being offered to you, and it's to do with overcoming any old past family things. When we have cups and pentacles together, that's family, and it may have been a difficulty at times, but this is a joy. This is a golden opportunity for us to come together, and a golden opportunity for you. It could also mean that you have some sort of role to play in large institutions and organizations going through change. This is the old way, really. It's the old hierarchy where the authority was at the top and went down that way, more of a Capricorn sort of energy. And by the way, Capricorns, you are meant to be wild and free. That's your card, the Devil, when it's about removing the shackles and being wild and free. It hasn't come up here, but it's just coming through. So when we have this old form of hierarchy moving into this newer form of hierarchy, it echoes the astrology of the moment, where we have had Pluto moving from Capricorn into Aquarius. And as I've said before, Capricorn is the hierarchical energy. Aquarius is about linear structures. So people, community, and people coming together and working things out together. And this is talking here about this vision we have together for the future. The old hierarchies have been cause for despair or for sadness for people, but that's changing now. And it is through love and through everyone coming together. So, wow. I know that is specifically for earth signs, but it does seem to have a message for everyone as well. Now we'll look at air signs, see what they've got coming up. Well, this is actually an increase in income or a feeling of safety to do with your resources, and working quite quickly and diligently towards that. This could also be opportunities coming in from the past to do with work and to do with, there's many opportunities coming up here. When I read tarot, every card that touches another card is incorporated into that reading. So this is both for earth signs and air signs, that there are these opportunities coming in from the past. Yes, people have emotional lessons to learn, and you may be with around people who are, have been refusing to learn their lessons, but now there's this change. There's a change to do with perspective that has been, that everything's been suspended for a period of time due to, again, hierarchical energy and people being stuck in work that they're not happy in. So Geminis are, I know, Gemini's an air sign, but this is talking about the subconscious. And a lot of Geminis have Cancer planets. And this is talking about planting seeds and for the future to do with your subconscious and what you truly want, rather than doing what everyone else wants you to do, especially authority. It's about planning holidays. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do? And also it's about your work and career. And you have been quite involved in your career, but you may be a bit bored. Of course, Geminis get bored very easily. You have very good minds. So what is this? How are you going to become more of a leader? Because this is the card of leadership, and it's leadership going forward. It may be in a way that is more to do with working from home. This is the internet, and this is working from home. So maybe you become your own authority in your field to do with whatever it is that you want to create. But there is this definite, connection to finances and an increase in finances and people appreciating you, people appreciating who you are, what you do. And these are friendships as well. So your friends appreciating you, coming together with groups. Of course, Gemini and other air signs are all about communication. So, of course, I didn't say which are the air signs, but you probably all know Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And so, of course, communication is important to all three air signs, and also travel. So it's about getting organised and putting things in place to do with, if you're bored in your job, to do with what you truly want. Justice is the card of, at the end of your life, it's the weighing of the heart. What are you glad you've done, and what have you regretted that you've done or haven't done? So these are big tests to do with what you want to create in your life. And say what you want, you can create it. So planting seeds for the long-term future is coming up here. And it's what you want, it's not what other people want you to do. You have more energy. It's like you have more spark. Of course, the Queen of Wands is the card of the fire signs, but she's coming up next to the card of air signs, Queen of Swords. And so it's a combination of that air and fire. And of course, that's hugely combustible. And you may just feel like you have the energy to move on, especially around career. So now we'll look at water. Creativity, of course, and great victory to do with any difficulties that you've been going through, to do with new beginnings around your creative self. And this might be something that you're studying, or you may be doing it from home, but it's your passion and you're being asked to do that now. Of course, the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. And this could be something that reaches the world through your home, you know. Now that, I mean, I work from home and the world comes to me, but you could be reaching the world through your home, and they're asking you to look at new opportunities or new beginnings that may seem short term, or, you know, maybe you don't know which way you should go. There seems to be two options here. Go with what feels right for you. You're the masters of your own intuition, you guys, you water signs, and you have a big opportunity here. So if something sparks your creative self, or makes you feel really excited, this is sort of excitement as well, then listen to yourself and start it. You may have already started it, but it's showing success in your path and other big opportunities coming in. Of course, balance is really important. So balance to do with the higher self, the conscious self, and the subconscious self, but also looking after yourself physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. But the world is coming up here, which could be talking about travel, but it's over the card of home. You might be an armchair traveller, maybe. So great victory over, it's like you have the energy to respond suddenly to things now. And that's why you need to keep your balance. Stay away from anyone who is causing drama, but also they're asking you to meditate. This is overthinking, and when we overthink, often the card of meditation comes up next to it. So finding that space between thoughts, having some sort of practice where you can find peace, whether that is meditation, or whether it's going for a walk in nature, or whether it's anything else. You know, some people sport, going to the gym is a form of meditation. Whatever is right for you, whatever brings you peace. It may be your work as well, because when we're happy in our work and we're really focused and excited by it, then we don't have time to think about the things that we're not happy about. So ask your guides for help if you're having any sort of dramatic incidents with other people. But really, it's about clearing that and having goals. So the star is the card for Aquarius, but it's also about goal setting, seeing the goal, reaching that goal, seeing the next goal, which is actually the mantra for Sagittarius. But anyway, it's all getting mixed up in here. So great victory. This is long-term victory to do with what you're thinking about, to do with the new beginnings that you're thinking about at the moment. And really, it's about what do you want to create. This could also be travel. When travel comes up, and this could be to do with air signs as well, this is America or France. Yeah, France is having a few issues at the moment, but anyway, this could be in the longer term future, and it looks very positive for those countries as well. Yeah. So, and lastly but not least, we have the fire signs. So the fire signs that we're looking at are Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. this has been coming up a lot, not just in my readings, but, yeah, it seems to be coming up for a lot of Sagittarians or fire sign people, that love is coming in. And this is love for those people who are single or have been on their own for a long period of time. And they think that this isn't possible. They're saying it is possible. Hidden things will be revealed. It's someone new. But also, this could be signifying changes to do with work. So it is about looking at what you truly want to do on Earth. This is the card of the starseed, and starseeds are here to help people and help the Earth on some level, and they're asking you, what are your goals? It's about overcoming feelings of hopelessness or fear and taking the shackles off. Here's the card I was talking about before for Capricorn, the devil. So often people who get this have been doing what other people have wanted them to do, or it is the card of addiction. So it can be addictions to ways of thinking, which in this case it looks like it is, but it can be addictions to other things, and thinking that it's not possible to overcome these things. But of course it is. You can take these shackles off. There are methods of doing this. They are talking specifically about spiritual methods and getting help in that way. But also, like with thought, things like EMDR, rapid eye technology, tapping are all of great benefit to do with clearing old patterns and programs. And these are subconscious patterns and programs that they're talking about. This is connecting. When we get these two cards together, the High Priestess and the Magician, they're very high vibration cards. Often people who are starseeds have bigger hurdles to overcome than other people in the early part of their life. But if they overcome them, they really have a lot of knowledge, and usually people overcome them through spiritual connection. So there could be a change to do with your work, to do with this spiritual side of yourself. That, of course, can be creative. Often that's how we speak to people the most. A beautiful painting or beautiful music or beautiful dance, an amazing book. They can create more change on a soul level for someone than anything else. But you may also be called to heal, teach, advise, lead. And there's success around this, that you're being asked to look at your dreams. So you are being tested on who you do want into your life and who you don't. If someone new comes in, it's about listening to your intuition, but also I always say give it a few months. They're talking about 5 months here. But don't sabotage yourself by thinking things aren't possible when they are. This is also to do with finances. It's almost, well, it is saying that you will have the resources that you need. And when you have the Sun next to a card, and the Ace of Swords, of course, this is extreme positivity. The Ace of Swords and the Sun together are extremely positive, and it's about long-term success to do with having all the cups you need. Of course, this is the Nine of Cups, and what's missing is the 10th cup, which is unconditional love. So everything comes from unconditional love, and that's what they're talking about here, connection with people. So these are pretty amazing cards for everyone. And of course, co-creating a peaceful, beautiful, united Earth is what we're here for. So, yeah, wonderful. And unconditional love is the key. So we've got the Ace of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Cups all coming up here. And, yeah, have a great week. Lots of love and light to everyone. See you next week. Bye.